And also coming out of Egypt today, a court may release former Egyptian president and longtime ruler Hosni Mubarak. And his potential release could result in total chaos from a situation that is already extremely volatile. Here to talk all things Egypt, RT Arabic correspondent Reema Abu Hamdieh joins me now. Reema, let's start by talking about this potential release of Hosni Mubarak. What could it do to the country that is already experiencing, as I said, this type of chaos?
Just like everything coming out of Egypt, this is also debatable. A lot of people saying that he is not going to be released. Just the fact that he was acquitted of one charge today does not mean that he will be released from prison. I think the court system is going to look at the fact that Egypt is already in chaos, and that means that releasing someone like Mubarak at this point will probably just add to the flames in Egypt. And honestly, I was just talking to someone who's very much involved in the Egyptian situation, and he said, this guy is not going to be released. This time is over. There's no going back.
But what about the idea, what if he is released? You say there's no going back. He said there's no going back. But are we back to square one from where the country was a couple of years ago to today?
Egypt is divided, it seems, into these two different groups right now. One group that says we are not back to square one. We got rid of Mubarak's regime and now we got rid of the Muslim Brotherhood. The other group, however, says that we are definitely back to square one. We did get rid of Mubarak, but Mubarak's regime for the past year has been working to restore the government, to restore its power, and that's exactly what they did. Ousting Morsi, ousting the government of Morsi, the Muslim Brotherhood, meant for them that Mubarak's regime is back. A lot of people on the street, though, will tell you that no, the Mubarak's regime is definitely not back, and we will not allow this to happen. And there's no one in Egypt, whether a politician or from the military, who can sell this to the Egyptian people.
Now let's talk about some of the media coverage that the people of Egypt, the ones that you are talking about, are experiencing and seeing, and how that reflects on the country and reflects personally on them. So I know that numerous news stations there have stopped reporting on people saying that the coverage is biased. Can you explain that a little bit more in detail and what the controversy is there?
A lot of controversy when it comes to media coverage in Egypt right now. A lot of controversy that has to do also with Arabic media and even with Egyptian media. There seems to be, Egypt is becoming a sort of rumors factory right now. Everybody's just saying what they want and attributing this to whoever source they think would say or might say or maybe have said something like they believe or they want him to say. What's going on in Egypt is there is a media war. People are saying, this is what we want. The media relays this the way they want. And the media is controlled. Who is the media in Egypt? There is the international stations, and there is the Arab media, and there is also the locally owned media. And each one of them sees the truth, sees what's going on in Egypt the way they want to see it. And this is why it's very controversial at this moment, because everybody is seeing this from their own, I would say, very narrow perspective, and not the whole picture, not what's going on actually on the ground.
So some of the chaos is actually translating into how people are seeing it on the television screens.
We can just take one story, the killing of the 36, or the death of the 36 inmates yesterday. The way this was reported in different media just tells you how different the media is looking at these issues, at these stories that are happening in Egypt. The first story that came out was that gunmen attacked those inmates, attacked the soldiers who were protecting the inmates, wanting to free them. The second story was that the police fired gas at the inmates because of the gunmen who were trying to free them. The third story was that they were killed by police because they were trying to escape. A lot of different stories and a lot of different narratives in Egypt right now.
And unfortunately, it's very hard to discern what exactly is the truth, because it's very hard to get into that country, to be safe as a reporter in that country. There's so many different reasons. But let's bring it back here at home. Many lawmakers in the U.S. are asking for aid for Egypt to be cut off. On the other hand, you have Saudi Arabia saying that whatever the U.S. decides to cut off, it will make up. So what would cutting off U.S. aid do, really?
The Saudi Arabia already is supporting Egypt, already is showing a lot of support financially and diplomatically to Egypt. The U.S. seems to be split on this. There are lawmakers who say that we should definitely cut off aid, since the law says that any military coup, we are not going to support any military coup in any region. And a lot of people see this as not as a coup. They do not see it as a coup, and therefore they don't want aid to be cut off. However, transferring all of this on the ground in Egypt, what does the aid do to the Egyptians? The Egyptian people have not felt the aid of the Americans, and therefore there are petitions now on the street in Egypt asking the government to actually demand the stop of aid from the U.S. They are asking the U.S. to stop its aid to Egypt. Any kind of influence the U.S. aid had in Egypt, I don't see this at all at the moment. I don't think there is any influence of the U.S. in Egypt, it seems.
It's a very, very difficult situation right now. Thank you for bringing us the latest. RT Arabic correspondent Reema Abu Hamdieh with that.